I have my issues with Jesus. There's a lot of stuff I went through that I prayed and I didn't see Jesus show up. So
Some people noticed him and some people didn't, unfortunately. Hey, it's a sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes to talk about the interview that Kanye West had with, I believe, this maybe podcast called Big Boy TV. He was talking about a bunch of stuff, but we're going to highlight what he talked about Jesus, how, Jesus, you heard what he said. This is the same man who had Sunday service, who supposedly made gospel songs. Some of them were not gospel songs if you really look into the lyrics. And now this is what he's saying. But let me tell you something. There were men of God that were warning the church about this man. This man was not right. But then you had other people that had bigger platforms, and I guess they wanted to be, good with Ye or whatever, Ye or whatever, because his name, he has a name. It's called Jesus. So that was like the first big red flag. But a lot of people, no, that's not a red flag. That is not. That's like it's white. It has a red spots, just so they could be good with this man who has clearly has a lot of issues. And people, and he's not the only one. There are a lot of people that says, oh, that's why they don't serve God because God don't answer prayer. Like this lady who was on Vice News, uh, and she's one of many black women who are turning to ancestors and witchcraft and turning away from God.
So, can you talk about some of the differences in what you study now to what your relationship was with Christianity then? What are you getting out of Bikuni that
I
you
get
didn't find
answers
in
to
the
my
Christian
prayers.
church?
That I tell people that all the time. Like when they're like, "What's the difference?" I'm like, "Because my prayers are answered."
And she's not the only one that thinks like this. There are many people in the church right now that think this way. That they pray to God, but God never answers their prayers. And she, has turned to witchcraft. But if you continue to listen to her story, obviously she has issues with her family, and I'm sure God told her to that she has to forgive. Just like with Kanye and other people that are mad with God, saying that God doesn't answer prayers. What we need to understand, God is holy. He has a standard. His standard is holiness. And when you pray to God, that means you're getting closer and closer to God. As you get closer and closer to God, He exposes the things inside of you that may hinder you from, getting a stronger relationship with Him, like the sin in your life that people may not see. And He may tell you to do things that are very hard, like to ask for forgiveness where maybe the other person should have need to ask you to forgive them. He may tell you to stop doing certain things that you might find a benefit in. He's going to address sin in your life, and that's what people don't like. So it's not that God doesn't answer prayers. It's that when you ask for something, because God is a genie in a bottle for a lot of people. When you ask for something, say, okay, okay, if you want this, you're gonna have to do this, or you're gonna have to, get rid of this, stop doing this, because that is gonna hinder you from holding the blessings that I have for you. But most of the time, in our arrogance, in our disobedience, rebellion, stubbornness, whatever it is, we don't think we should do that to get what God has for us. So if you don't do it, when you pray, how is He going to hear you to answer your prayers? Because He said, if you hold sin in your heart, that's why people don't read the Bible. If you hold sin in your heart, He will not hear you. He said His hand, it's not like he's deaf that He cannot hear you. It's not like His hand is too short that He cannot save you, but it's your sin that has separated you from God. And that's why a lot of times it's other things, but that's why a lot of times you may pray to God and your prayers go unanswered. Well, that you think your prayers go unanswered. God is talking to you. You just not listening. He may not have answered your prayers, but He's telling you stuff. You just have to pay attention because God has a million billion ways to talk to us. And now you have Kanye West, who infiltrated the church, who was endorsed by many, many pastors with these platforms, infiltrated church, started his Sunday service, got a bunch of youth behind him. Now he is talking about that he has a problem. He said he has a problem with Jesus Christ. He prayed a lot of times for Jesus and he didn't do anything. Maybe, maybe when he lost his mother, that's what he's talking about and stuff like that. But you blaming God for a free, I believe his mother, went to do some type of surgery and, she lost her life unfortunately. But, somehow God can always get blamed for something like that. And he didn't really specifically said that that's why he was mad at God, but I'm going to put it out. I'm going to not put it out there, but speculate. That's one of the reasons why he has issues with God. So he infiltrated church, got all these youth behind him, and now all these youth behind him, he's telling them, hey, this same Jesus I was promoting to you guys, he kind of doesn't answer prayers. So just letting you guys know that. So now you leading all these kids astray. You ready? The Sunday service was like whatever. I didn't understand it. And now you telling these kids, these young adults, these older adults that Jesus doesn't answer prayers, and you think you're not going to pay for that? You're going to be by the words of your mouth, you will be acquitted, or you will be condemned. So he thinks that he has issues. He's always in some type of controversy, some way, some. He think he has problems now. There's literally no difference from him and the lady, with that had that snake spirit on her, who was walking behind Paul and stuff like that, try to get in with Paul. The only thing is Paul them saw what she was trying to do, and they did not endorse her like other people did. And then they called out the spirit behind them. But a lot of people endorsed this man, and then that's what he's using to say, hey, this is Jesus I was promoting. Forget him. He don't even answer prayers. And just like this young lady who was in the Vice News clip that's saying, she was raised in the church. She was raised in the church, and now she's saying God never answered her prayers, but now her prayers are being answered because she prays to her ancestors. She is using this type of witchcraft to get physical manifestations. The enemies of that's gonna gather together with the Antichrist and the beast and stuff like that, it's gonna be people that supposedly was promoting Christ, who was in the church and stuff like that, and they are mad at God. They are mad at God. They are angry at God. They are upset with God and stuff like that. And they gonna do whatever it takes to steer people away from God, but not really looking inside. When was the last thing that God told you? It's not like God didn't answer your prayers. He told you to do something that you did not want to do, that you did not feel that you should do. You was me. I don't have to do that. Nope. This is how I pay my bills. They did it to me. They were wrong. They hurt me. They this. What about me? No. But that God's give grace to the humble. He's trying to humble you. But pride is stopping you from receiving the grace of God. But that's unfortunate. That's the world that we live in. A lot of people mad at God. And sometimes you may think that God, I love God. What's wrong with you? I love God. And then you got a problem with God because you had prayed for something, he didn't do it for you. You don't feel like he answers your prayers the way he should and stuff like that. I'm sure there's something in your life that he wants you to change. He wants to take out of your life, but you don't want to let go of it. And it's unfortunate that, Kanye West, I guess he's going to have to learn the hard way because you infiltrate the church to do all of this and leading all these young people astray. You think you're not going to pay for that? Come on. Seriously? Anyway, that's all I had to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.